back to Alaska. My name is Dave Vincent. It is the Race for 8 in Anchorage. Stop number 4, season number 2. And this match has a lot of implications, Dave. Aaron Garner, Alan's brother, going up against John Iglesias here. The winner of this match, even though this is a playoff semifinals of the 9 through 12th place, the winner of this match will have enough ranking points to be invited to Denver, Colorado at the next stop, and that's the reason why we've made this emergency decision to come down early today for this live broadcast to put it on the air for you.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, this match may have more significance and implications than any match that's played today, including the finals. Now, the guys playing later today, Dave, are already guaranteed their spots in Seattle, guaranteed their spots in Denver, and for the rest of the stops throughout this season. But these guys, Dave, are battling for that coveted 8th spot and all that comes with it. And there is a lot that comes with that. There's the prestige, there's the incentive money, there's the marketing aspect that enables you to go out and get yourself sponsors. There's the ability to go out and gain so many more fans. So these guys know what's on the line here today, and it's going to be really exciting. These guys,
choice to defer or serve.
Dave, are about the same age. They've sparred against one another. They have not yet played in pro competition.
Best of luck. Both competitors, 1 game to 25, win by 2. 0 play 0.
You hear the announcement there from the referee. Aaron Garner from the Multnomah Athletic Club in Portland, Oregon, originally from San Antonio, Texas, takes this back wall shot, goes for a corner kill. Does not get his first point until now when he rolls it down the right wall. John Iglesias, originally from Costa Rica, living in Florida. Actually, he's been around the country. Lived in Chicago, went to LFC College, and he's lived in New York, played a lot of one wall early on. This is an interesting matchup because of that fly kill right there from John Iglesias. You're going to see some amazing fly kills, a lot of gritty play, and tons of power between the two.
Well, Dave, John is a lot like Shorty, who we haven't really seen much of on the 4-wall webcast, but he hits these unorthodox shots and very difficult guy to play. He makes a lot of gets, and he's got these kind of shots here, Dave, where he's just continuing to put pressure, never allowing you to be settled. And Aaron, Dave, has an amazing right hand, but John is one of these guys that just seems to get to everything.
1 play 1.
This one's going to come right down to the wire.
Both these guys, Dave, emotional players. Aaron has a tendency to get down on himself. Jonathan has a tendency to sort of dwell in his own sorrows if things aren't going the way he wants them to. So have to be cognizant of that. Aaron yesterday, Dave, was frustrated with himself, really did not play well coming off that great performance.
Hold on, I'm going to call a hinder ball.
But, you know, Dave, Aaron did not play well following that great semifinal showing in Houston, where he got blitzed in the first round yesterday by Andy Nett in a match I know you and I both thought would be close, and it wasn't. But he's got a chance at redemption here. Not only 9th place, which is pretty prestigious here on the tour, but a chance to enter into that Elite 8 for Denver.
2 play 1.
It's amazing, Dave. I talked to John this morning before he got on the court, and he told me, you know, he's not sore at all. I mean, this is a guy that played 2 hard pro matches yesterday, Dave, and he's just
3 play 1.
Feels as good as he did before the tournament started. John does not look as motivated as he needs to be if he's going to challenge Aaron Garner here. Aaron telling me that he was so
I'm going to say point.
Aaron was so off yesterday. He told me last night, Dave, at one of the player parties, that he couldn't even get his Z going, his Z serve, which is his second serve. It's pretty much something he does it with his eyes closed. He said, I couldn't even hit that.
1 play 4.
Aaron said he was actually hurt by the format here, where he didn't have to go through the qualifier. Came in here and said, I had to go from 0 to 60
2 play 4.
without even, you know, having any court time.
I see a lot of players talking about that. They kind of get a free pass in, and then they don't feel like they're part of the tournament. When the other players who qualified already are acclimated, they know the crowd, the system. It says a lot to have that free day, but also it kind of works against you.
Well, you take a look at somebody, Dave, like Chip Morales, who qualified at every stop last season. And Dave, in Fresno and Salt Lake City, where he qualified, he went to the round of 8, finishing 6th and 6th respectively. He said, ever since I got invited into the Elite 8, I haven't won one match.
Wow.
So you can see the difference for a guy like Chip. Now, some guys obviously would rather just show up and be fresh and play. But other guys want to get some miles under their belt before taking on the top guys.
John Iglesias serving, wearing the qualifier shirt that he got a couple stops back.
Together at 4.
John has been the breakthrough performer thus far on the Race for 8 2 tour. Came into the season with no ranking points and
5, play 4.
has already earned 6.25 points with a 9th place finish at the U.S. Open, an 11th place finish in Tucson, and then an 11th place finish in Houston. Here he's assured himself of at least an 11th place finish.
6, play 4.
Aaron Garner, of course, has only played in one race event this year and went all the way to the semifinals, so he picked up 6 points
I saw it good.
in one shot.
We do have. Oh, hold on. We do have some line judges.
I don't like this here.
Okay. I'm gonna call it short.
I don't like
Short
this
ball.
here. A couple people down in the stands said that they saw it
Thank
short.
you.
Referee
Second serve.
then elects them to be line judges, and now the ball is called short.
Well, Dave,
I mean, it's a right call, but it's don't like the way it came about there.
you constructively this morning, Dave, at breakfast, and there's a terrible error from Aaron, but tried to give our referee some mentoring, and obviously was very positive. It was extremely constructive dialogue.
The way I handle
7,
things.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Very diplomatic.
And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like TTH has heeded that advice thus far.
Check the ball,
He
please.
seems to be somewhat unprepared here, Dave. And I mean, for a head referee, you would hope for a little bit more.
7, 4.
At least I would. I know your expectations not quite as high as mine.
Not as critical as you.
No, you're.
And if
You're
you've been
more of a
around me
just-
for 5 or 10 minutes, you
Mhm.
see I'm just a bundle of
Yeah.
joy.
You're just a big teddy bear. And I don't mean big as in your weight. I mean big as in a big-hearted guy.
Yeah.
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 Because I would never, say
Well,
that
it's
you
not
were
true.
right.
Wow, nice shot right there. Kind of a diving down to the knee kill shot from Aaron Garner. And Aaron just smacked that ball, Dave.
Well,
Lot
I
of
think
power.
Aaron needs to go down to that knee more often because he's big and he needs to get a little bit lower. And I
4,
think
play 7.
a lot of the reasons you see him skip a lot of balls is because he's hitting the ball at a descending angle, and those balls catch the floor a lot. And that's a low percentage shot there from John. Not that he's not strong enough to hit that shot off balance from 30 feet, but to shoot the right corner there, the ball's going
5, play 7.
to come right back to Aaron Garner. You have to shoot that ball straight down the right if you can, preferably about 6 inches high. One of the knocks on Aaron Garner, Dave, really a complete player, but doesn't really take the ball out of the air as much as he should. He likes to rally, which might work, Dave, against top open level competition, but if you give pros an opportunity to stay in rallies, they're going to find an opportunity to end that rally. So you have to be the first one to strike if you can.
Skip.
I heard Aaron say something there, Dave. I think he might be slipping a little bit. These courts are a little bit slick.
Yeah, I played on this court. I
Yeah.
felt it was way slick.
Okay. I thought it might have just been my shoes.
7, play 5.
I thought it was my shoes as well, but I see if everybody's having the problem.
Yeah. It doesn't look, Dave, like John is completely engaged in this match yet mentally. And John does that. He goes through peaks and valleys emotionally during matches.
5, play 7.
And his game, Dave, is a high-octane requirement. You see guys like Dave Chapman and Nadia Alvarado who actually play better in cruise control. Now, John's the type of guy that needs to really press the action. He needs to really be charged for every point in
7,
order to be
play 5.
successful against the top guys. he's not somebody, Dave, that can go into junk time and take guys down. Oh, smart pass shot there from John, but it comes around. Aaron's able to keep the rally alive. How frustrating, Dave, is that as a player when you pass up a setup to hit a passing shot and then you've hit it a little bit too hard and it's off the back wall, you tell yourself, why don't you just shoot that ball and just put it down?
Nice volley, guys.
It is
Aaron,
frustrating.
that's your first 1 minute.
Timeout called here. Yeah, definitely frustrating when
you come back.
you tell yourself right before the shot what you need to do, and then you decide not to do it, and then you miss that shot and say, why didn't I just go with what I'm supposed to do? The worst thing is when you're driving home after a loss and you start thinking back on certain shots and saying, I just need to start going for kill shots.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm driving home with no hardware here.
Yeah.
I mean, I might as well drive home as a loser, at least taking the right shot, than to just take those safe shots. These guys are pro players. They're not going to make too many mistakes. You're watching the race for 8. This is the 9th through 12th place semifinal, so the winner will be in the 9th place finish. Now, some people would say, why are you filming semifinals of a 9th place? Well, it is pretty prestigious to be on the race for 8, but secondarily, the winner of this match will get an automatic invite to Denver. And these guys all season long have been trying to be invited as an Elite 8 to become part of that Elite 8. They get their profile updated on the website. They get their shirt made. It's a big thing as we listen for the ref score here.
Well, Jonathan, Dave, actually announced his retirement for the rest of the season after losing to Nadi. So that is a binding agreement, albeit an oral binding agreement. But it was witnessed and it was reported to the pro player representative. So in order, Dave, for him to play in Denver, he'll have to pay a $500 fine to release himself from that contract. So basically he'll just be paying back the incentive money. And that will actually go into a fund that I think we're going to include the entire crew this year, Dave, to Tahiti. I mean, I know that there's been talks about that. It really depends on the player behavior. Thus far this week, we've had a number of fines and violations stemming from balls kicked into the weight room, clothing violations.
Having a number on the scoreboard after Andy Nett's name.
That's right.
That was a $35 fine. So.
And don't forget about the big one, the binding retirement clause.
Right.
Yeah. And I know a lot about binding, Dave, because in preparing for my move to Tucson, I have to make sure to get binding moving quotes because I don't want to have them get to my door and have them say, wait a minute, that's actually $2,000 more than we thought because this weighs more than we anticipated. It's got to bind. Similar theory with the retirements, and that's a terrible shot from Aaron Garner there, Dave. Changed his mind. That's a player that's not playing with a lot of conviction or confidence.
10 plays 5.
Particularly on balls that are moving that slow and you just continue to question yourself. Aaron Davis, he's steady, but he's also very streaky. I've seen Aaron lose 15 of 17 points and then come back and win that game. Positive people on Facebook. I'm sure everyone is probably tuning in to the broadcast while checking out all the pics and articles on Facebook. Nothing but positivity. People just want to talk about the matches. They're not critical.
Well, there's a lot of talk right now going on about these race stops.
Yeah.
That's a huge setup. Let's see if Aaron can do anything. He really doesn't.
What amazes me, Dave, about these race stops is that thousands of fans know the rankings breakdowns, all the strengths and weaknesses of all these players, but the pro players themselves have no idea what time they play, have no idea what they're ranked, have no idea what it means to be in the top 8 or how to get into the top 8. Very interesting.
Seven plays 10.
I watched Aaron Garner, Dave, go through the Dave Chapman warm-up for 45 minutes before this match. It looked absolutely ridiculous. No offense.
Yep. 8 plays 10.
Aaron Garner was actually the model for the Dave Chapman 2 experience, the DVD. Trying to get his foot in the door. His brother, of course, Dave, is a world-renowned model slash actor, the blonde bombshell, Alan Garner. Aaron says, hey, look, I'm better looking than Alan. He told us that last night. Maybe it should be me on these billboards
Time out,
and
John,
commercials.
that's your first. We have 10 plays 8.
You
When
can understand
resume.
his reasoning there, Dave. I mean, he's probably a little bit fitter than Alan Garner. He's also a bombshell. And you can't blame the guy for, trying to make a name for himself and support himself with his looks.
You're watching the Race for 8, Season 2, Stop 4, Anchorage, Alaska. We have Denver, Colorado coming up in March. In fact, it's the same format that we've been using for the last couple years. Thursday is a qualifier day, which is March 7th, and then the
30
main draw
seconds.
starts on Friday. So if you're interested in trying to break into the tour, get a lot of emails and tweets and communications from people that are asking, how do I become a pro player? Well, it's simple. You come in on a Thursday and you play these one-game matches to 25
15
to
seconds.
qualify to get into the main draw on Friday. And as soon as you qualify, you're in the money rounds. And if you continue your trek on, you get points, you get yellow jerseys, you get cash, and
All right, guys,
of
here we
course,
go.
with those points, you get rankings, and that's how you
John
can get named
serves.
to Seattle, Washington. And it's not too late. You
Well,
could actually have
yeah.
somebody
10 plays
make it to Seattle.
8.
They,
True.
they rallied. We're at the halfway point. This tournament is the one that takes us over the hump.
There are 4 qualifiers at each event, so we have 4 brackets in those qualifiers. That's a great shot from John, and that's a shot he wasn't executing yesterday against Noddy. That open stance left paddle kill down the left
11
side.
plays 8.
Aaron Garner's got so much power, Dave, but he seems to restrain himself quite a bit. Doesn't seem to really let loose with his swing as much as I think he should. Almost like a home run hitter trying to hit singles.
Nice gets.
But Dave, would you
8
say
plays 11.
Aaron Garner is, built like a tight end in the NFL, or
Yeah,
maybe a linebacker? I mean,
yeah.
just a really strong young man. He's works in a psych ward, helping 5 to 17-year-old kids with mental depression and other
11
issues.
plays
And
8.
he said his goal is to go to graduate school for
Short.
psychology and work as a psychotherapist.
You appeal the
He's
serve.
now taking the
Ball
prereqs
3.
for that program. Graduated with a degree in political
Second
science.
serve.
And now he's going to go a different direction. Says his plan is to start that program in 2015. Until then, he said he's just going to play a lot of handball.
12
He's also
plays 8.
recently single, for all those ladies out there. Just don't want to leave out any details.
13 plays 8.
I know, Dave,
Good
that
ball.
you and TTH mentioned yesterday that maybe one of the reasons he wasn't as sharp yesterday against the Minnesota
8
Dreamboat
plays
is he's a little bit
13.
out of his element. In Houston, he showed up. He had his full family support, as well as a number of, I'm not sure what exactly they're called, Dave, the bombettes.
They're
Looked a
called
lot.
They're called the Bombardiers.
Bombardiers. It looked very much like the group that traveled with Alan Garner before his beautiful relationship with his wife.
The Bombardiers, spelled D-E-A-R-S.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So he packed the stands not only with his dad and his brother and his
9
sister-in-law,
plays 13.
but also, Dave, the entire upper level in Houston was Bombardier only. By the end of the tournament, they actually had a sign-up. you know, Dave, when you go to a football game or baseball game, it'll say media only. This
Hold on.
actually, oh, that's
I
a
called
terrible
that too
call.
soon. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it over.
But it was a really hot ticket. They actually upped the price of the tickets so you could sit with a
Funny screen, yeah,
bombardier
sorry.
for $500, and those sold out.
9/13.
It's pretty impressive.
No good?
And John had such an easy look at that kill shot. Aaron was barreling
10
in, but
plays 13.
if John executed that shot, there was really nothing Aaron could have done there. And another beautiful shot. That's the 7th open stance left paddle kill that John's executed in the first half here today. That's been his money shot here, Dave.
Plays 10.
These playoffs, Dave, are such a great opportunity for that next tier of pro player to take on one another, because you see these guys, Dave, go up against that top 4, and it's competitive, but you don't really get the sense that they have a chance to knock off any of those top 4 guys. Yet you see them play each other, and you see just how talented these guys are. And this is how you improve. You don't improve, Dave, by going to a tournament and playing one match. These guys take the playoffs very, very seriously. They know, look, I'm going to be challenging myself against guys that I'm trying to beat, and I'm trying to climb ahead or stay in front of in the rankings. So there's a lot of motivation.
15, 3 minutes, guys.
Wow. That's a
15,
huge
10,
outburst right there from
3-minute break.
Aaron Garner, who just yelled at himself before leaving the court here, as we take a look at the players exiting out of the Alaska Club Midtown here in Anchorage.
I know that you actually need a hug. You get very sensitive when you hear a guy yell when he's frustrated with himself. So I hope that you're going to.
Can you bring it in?
Yeah, I'm in, actually.
I thought you were going to hug me.
No, I am hugging you.
Okay.
Actually.
Do you call this a hug?
Yeah,
lean?
I do.
When you do a shoulder
I
lean?
have emotional issues, okay?
So you have emotional issues.
I have touching issues.
Well, you said I needed a hug when
you
somebody
need one.
yells.
I just don't know if I'm going to be the person that can give it to you.
Can you please?
I have intimacy issues. So that's not a joke. But
it isn't?
Dave,
okay, go ahead.
at halftime here, it is John Iglesias with a 15-10 lead. The play's been a little bit sloppy here. Neither guy has really upped the intensity to where I thought it would be. We'll see if that changes in the second half. John seems a little bit lackadaisical. Aaron seems much like what we saw yesterday, very flat and very inconsistent. He's not making his shots. John is getting by on Aaron Garner airs and his amazing paddle kill ability in the front court.
The score here is 15-10 as we close out the first half. We'll be back in a minute and a half or so for the second half. Race for 8. It's the semifinals of the 9th through 12th place matchup. The significance of this match is the winner will be invited to Denver and will be regarded as an Elite 8 with the Race for 8 tour. We'll be back in just a bit. For Fink, my name is Vincent. We'll have more of the second half next here at racefor8.com.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
Back at Anchorage, Alaska for the second half as John Iglesias and Aaron Garner get ready to mix it up. Aaron still putting his gloves on. Very emotional as he left the court here. Upset, frustrated with himself. But
All right, gentlemen, here we go.
this score could be a lot worse. He actually made a
John
nice little
serves.
comeback. I think he should be happy with
15 plays 10.
at least having 10.
Well, I agree with you, David. Aaron's been outplayed, and John has not been playing anywhere close to his best ball. And that ball just dies in the right corner. Aaron had a plan, but it's one of those balls, Dave, that for some reason just hits the corner and slows up, and that's what happened there.
16 play 10.
But just a terrible return of serve from Aaron.
John Iglesias is 9 points away.
Now that's a beautiful shot from John. And that's one of Aaron's weaknesses, maybe a half a step slower than the other top pro guys, but these are not
17
great
play
serves
10.
from John Iglesias, and Aaron just not able to defend them at all.
Well, this is not the best tournament for Aaron.
Well, it's not over yet, Dave. We've seen bigger comebacks than this. And that's a shot that he has to put away. And now you see Aaron, Dave, scrambling in the backcourt. Just a really terrible air there on a ball. He's just trying to flip back high
Ball, please.
and two-wall.
Thank you.
And Dave,
18
since
play
Jonathan
10.
told me he was done for the year, he's gone on to dominate
ball.
Shorty Ruiz in the first round of this 9th place playoff.
Second
He
serve.
looked really solid in that match, and he's now dominating Aaron Garner, a guy who was in the semifinals of the last race stop. So maybe he was a bit premature. But you know, Dave, halfway through this race season, we're starting to see a lot of emotions from these guys, because these guys put
10
so
plays
much
18.
into preparing for these events, and to come here and lose in the first round is incredibly deflating and demoralizing. I heard it from Chip Morales yesterday, Dave, who just said, I'm done. I mean, I made my ticket to Denver and I'll go, but that's it. I mean, I can't deal with this anymore. I haven't won a match in a year, and this is just too hard.
Well, it's good to see that we're inspiring
Sure, you can
players
feel
to
it.
continue playing
feel it?
handball.
Well, competition's a hard thing,
They
Dave.
both
This
agree?
isn't yoga, okay? No, not everyone goes home a winner.
11 plays 18.
When you get old, though, Dave, winning is just not being injured. So that's even harder than actually winning, though, as I found.
18 plays 11.
Aaron Garner cannot trade point for point here against John Iglesias. And John's got this nice lead. And Dave, Aaron just pulling off of that shot, Dave. I know you see that from baseball hitters who just pull off of the pitch, and that's what Aaron's doing here off the back
19
wall.
plays 11.
He's getting himself out in front of it, and he's not staying steady. And that's a great get from John. And here's a setup for John. He'll set and shoot. What a great rally here. Both guys really working hard here. Oh, and an amazing left-to-left kill, Dave.
It's your second, Aaron. 20 plays 11
Let's
when
take-
they resume.
Let's
John
take
will
a
have the
quick
serve.
instant replay of that last kill shot from John Iglesias, Dave, or excuse me, Iglesias, who takes a ball that's scraped on the left wall and drills it right back down the left wall about 2 inches high with his offhand. I mean, Dave, these are skills that don't happen overnight. These are skills that come from tens of thousands of reps.
Here's
This
that
is just
replay.
a great rally here. This is about a 25-shot rally. It's a great get from John. He keeps it on the wall. Now John hits a pass shot here behind Aaron.
I like that shot from John.
I love this aggressiveness from John. Maybe could have gone to the right, but he goes right back at Aaron. And I like this play here, Dave. That's a 3-wall shot, pushing the ball to the other side of the court. Now look at this shot. And Dave, I see a lot of guys, a lot of right-hand dominant
Play
players
resumes.
actually hitting the
20
ball better off
plays
the back wall
11.
with their left. I know you're one of those guys, Dave.
Foot fault.
John's lucky there that that's called a foot fault, as that was a huge setup. But Dave, talk about that a little
Second
bit. I mean,
serve.
off the back wall, it looks like you're a lot more comfortable with your left, and we see the same thing from Emmett Pashot and Alan Garner.
I think it's just a mental thing.
Oh,
Dave, I
great
mean,
shot from John.
I think there's two thoughts. I know national champions could probably tell you that I'm completely off here, but one is that it's sort
21
of when
play
you use
11.
your offhand, you have nothing to lose, so therefore it makes you just feel more comfortable. And the other thing is we all had shoulder problems at some point And I know with me personally, it's just that it's in my head that my rotator cuff, my shoulder is sore, therefore I don't feel like I can take a full swing.
22
And
plays 11.
playing injured for so long, it's modified that swing that I don't feel comfortable at all now. But with my left, which isn't damaged, feels great, and I feel comfortable taking those shots. So I'm sure that John Bike, who would be listening at home, completely is shaking his head,
22 play
throwing his
11.
hands in the air.
And these are set-up serves from Jonathan, and Aaron's not doing anything with them. Dave, if you're Aaron's coach, and I'm not sure who's coaching him right now, what do you tell Aaron after a tournament like this where he has looked terrible from start to finish? Probably the worst I've
Aaron, that's your
ever
last
seen
one,
Aaron play, and I've
23-11.
been watching and playing Aaron since 2009. I've never seen him play like this.
Well, I believe he's going to be able to go back home. He's going to study video. He's going to be more confident. Sometimes when you play really bad, it resets the engines. You come back and you have a different fight in you. Sometimes, you know, you see these players go into their first tournament, they make it to the Super Bowl, and they think it's easy and don't realize all of what they accomplished to get to that Super Bowl final. And I think Aaron may have had that Super Bowl happen in Houston a couple weeks back and felt that it was easy getting there. Needs to go back, take this loss, learn from it. I think he'll be completely fine. I don't think this is going to hurt. Yeah, as some players would say, this actually stunts them because now they'll never get over it. But I believe Aaron is a different breed. He's going to be able to go back home and take this as a motivating factor to sharpen his skills just a little bit.
I agree with you, actually, Dave. And talking to Charlie Shanks,
Right,
who's our
gentlemen,
number
play
one ranked
resumes.
pro when the rankings
23
debut
plays
tomorrow,
11.
he said when he's in a slump, as he was last year,
Football.
he just gets away from the game for a couple of weeks. Just forgets about it. Stays off the court.
Second serve.
The problem is, Dave, in this grueling race season, it's almost impossible to stay off the court. We've got just 3 weeks until our next event. The WPH will also be at the NYAC Invitational, where top stars
24 plays
Andrew,
11.
the Minnesota Dreamboat net, Charlie Shanks, John Iglesias, myself will be on hand, and that will not be for
Gentlemen, good
ranking
match.
points, Dave, but that'll be something.
John,
And
congrats.
that's the match for Jonathan there, as that ended very quickly. Aaron only scoring 1 point in the second half, but you know, Dave, the WPH is doing a lot of things to promote this sport and to cover this sport, and the NYAC will be one of those opportunities in the beginning of March, and of course the very next week will be in Denver, Colorado.
Well, congratulations with this win. John Iglesias is now considered an Elite 8, and he will be invited to Denver, Colorado. Of course, we haven't debuted that list of players yet. We'll get the confirmation here at this tournament as those players are still being formulated, but it looks as if John Iglesias will accept that invite. He said that he will be at all the remaining stops, so that puts him in Denver, Colorado as one of the Elite 8 players. And Dave, you know, as a young star, you come in and you say, my goal is I want to qualify on the Pro Tour. But now you have to start adding other little features to that. I want to get invited to Seattle. I want to be considered an Elite 8. I want to win a Players' Championship. What do you feel that these guys are setting goals like that? They're completely cognizant of their surroundings?
Well, you know, Dave, some guys are very open about talking about their goals. Other guys will keep their goals kind of secretive on their notebook at home, underneath their pillow even. I've heard guys doing that. But, you know, Dave, obviously the ultimate for a handball player is to qualify for Seattle. If you don't qualify for Seattle, you have no chance at winning that Players' Championship. Once you get into that event, anything can happen. You win 3 rounds, you've won the Players' Championship and maybe the Player of the Year. But, Dave, John Iglesias is going to need some more good results. He's going to need a couple more semifinal finishes if he wants to have any chance at Seattle, because you've got top guys like Alan Garner, Sean Lenning, Luis Moreno, Nadia Alvarado, who basically have already claimed their spots there in Seattle with enough points. So they're fighting it out for just probably 1 or 2 spots that remain. So it's going to take a lot of great play from a guy like John Iglesias to creep into that top 8. Now he's already cracked that top 12, but to enter into that rarefied air of the top 8, he's going to need some really good results like he almost had in Tucson.
Well, I'm going to bring that up. In Tucson, Arizona, John Iglesias was 1 point away from making the semifinal. So he's got that in him. He can do that. And John could be a guy that breaks into the semis and goes further on. I know that's part of his goals. I know at one point he said, I just have never qualified with the WPH. See, he's hit that hurdle. He's now Looks like he gets that invite to Denver. Now he wants the invite to Seattle. And, of course, he can, work on his career as he heads toward that Players' Championship. We're going to take a break. In about 25 minutes or so, it'll be Nadi Alvarado up against Sean Lenning in the first semifinal match of the day here on Super Saturday at the Race for 8 number 2 tour, stop number 4 in Anchorage, Alaska at the Midtown Athletic Club. My name is Dave Vincent for Linda Manning, Jason Rutherford, as well as Dave Fink. We are going to take a break. We'll be back, though. 25 minutes, Dave, and we'll have some amazing handball here.
I can't wait.
And we'll also analyze that about 5 minutes before the game starts.
Okay.
We'll try to get your pick. We'll share my pick, and we'll even talk about yours. You can get a hold of us on Facebook. Look us up, tweet us, text, and we'll talk about your picks as well. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay here at racefor8.com.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards!
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you. Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.